Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. Want a drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino shot.
Get to Gino's spot. Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. Want a drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino shot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Okay, put us on. There we go. Everyone, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to Gino's Spot. Every single Tuesday night we have Rez and Cam here tonight, which is going to be marvelous. And we got on. I got the surnames wrong. It's Doyle. It's Doyle. We'll have to change it. When we're done. Yeah. But it's Doyle. We're from Nyosi tonight. And but first, before we even get there, I have to say thank you to. I've seen wearing my bush outfit as well. I don't know if you noticed that. I also quite into the bushveld, you know. Wat het die called in Nederland?
Jagende bok, ja.
Jagende bos. De bosjachter, wat er ook uitgekraaid. Thank you to our sponsors, Fitch and Leeds, and to Amobia with our internet. And I must admit, I haven't checked the fridge for Fat Cats' catering as well. Thank you, Fat Cats, for our chow. There we go. You put it on. There's a Fat Cats. Fat Cats. We have Grace lots of relationships, and that's what the show's all about. Really, is about the relationships that we do. Building PE, getting PE to know what's going on, and tonight we get to know Nyosi.
Yeah,
which is fantastic. We did go out there about a year and a bit ago.
Yeah,
and it was
lots
fair.
changed.
But I believe there's been some amazing stuff going on now. There's a cheetah. There's cheetahs there.
Yeah,
now.
we've got a few.
Yeah,
plural.
My soul, and they're the most beautiful animals as well. But you've got just about everything there. I think on reserve. Is that right?
Yeah, Gino, we're still growing a bit. Obviously, we've only been open for about a year and a half now.
Yeah.
But elephants, cheetah, buffalo, leopards come and go, as we say. And everyone likes to claim you have them, but you don't always see them.
So people just say, we've got leopards, but you just never know where they are.
Yeah, they're over there, you don't know.
Really? So they're around?
They're around. I mean, we're close to the Bavians mountain range.
Okay.
Close, but not hypothetically next door. But we have a natural corridor that kind of flows to us from the Bavian. So leopards having a big range would come in, go as far as that and turn around and disappear. Yeah.
Jeez, because that's. I mean, when there was from what I've always heard is that when the apex predators are there, then things are healthy.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's in balance.
Spot on. Obviously, it's a balance too. Too much of one causes problems to the other. So you've got to find a way to kind of create it. I mean, I'll give you an example. We brought elephants in after 200 years of them not being in that side of PE and kind of bringing them back to the natural environment. And we immediately noticed the change with certain species of like dung beetles appearing and the kind of bush opening up and kudu being able to move around. Then we introduced the cheetah. And when the cheetah came, all of a sudden there were more eagles, birds of prey. We saw jackals that we never saw before, honey badgers. So it really does kind of, just by introducing one or two animals in a very short time frame, it's created quite an interesting kind of change.
It's like politics.
I take this over politics.
Change the mayor. There we go. It's crazy. And Nyosi, what's the old name? It was called Hopewell Estate.
Correct.
That's right. And I know it's Adrian Gardner was involved as well. And was he the one that was pushing it initially?
I'll take it if you don't mind.
Go for it.
So it was Hopewell Conservation Estate. It's been around for a long time. The Israel family has owned the land and has proudly created kind of the spine and the bone of what we have today. And then Adrian came on board with his hospitality knowledge and kind of knack for conservation and has decided, guys, during COVID of all times, he said, as a group, they said, let's pivot and let's try and turn this into a hospitality offering, away from an eco estate is what it was originally.
Yeah.
PE just grew too slowly, I think.
Yes.
And now it's expanded into this hospitality offering. We've got a vineyard and all weird and wonderful things that we're trying to get going. And
A vineyard as well.
we've got a
Yeah.
vineyard
But the
as well.
wine, I
I
like
should have
that.
bought you a bottle of wine.
Are you making wine from it already?
Yeah.
Yes, we made 2 bottles.
And we're now
Three
doing a
bottles,
gin
3
this
varieties.
year.
Yeah, we're doing a gin this
Okay.
year.
Gin as well.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
my soul,
You have to
man.
come visit.
It's so hectic.
But Adrian drove the project, and it's kind of ended up where we are today, and it's organically grown into a kind of proudly PE-based visitor product, essentially.
Yes.
I would say 90% of our clients are from Gqeberha, East London,
Okay.
JBay, which is really lovely. So
Yeah.
we're really creating something new and different for the people. of
Well, I
PE.
think also you need to. The tourist trade is going to come naturally. I would think for
Well,
this sort of thing.
It's been great because the cruise ship market has already started coming. And because of our location, I think when people realize how close we are,
Yeah.
we're 30 minutes from
Yeah.
a city. So
Yeah.
Yes.
it's kind of this really interesting experience when you're driving out of the city, you pass Bay West on your left,
Yeah.
a few minutes you're at us, and then
Yes.
it's completely wild. But yeah, it's been...
And it's. I mean, how is it? I mean, I know it's not as big as the Addos and the thing, but you've
Yes.
got quite a lot of land there as well.
Yeah, 2,600 hectares, which it's hard to kind of quantify for people who don't really
I never
understand.
know what it is.
How
What
many
is it?
rugby fields is that,
It's-
Cameron?
no, it's a lot of
How many hectares is a rugby? I mean, how many rugby fields is a hectare?
I think 4. I
Is
might
it
be
4?
wrong. I might be
Okay.
wrong.
Okay.
But 27 kilometers of fence. That's our
Wow,
kind of
okay.
our
Yes.
external boundary on the one
All right.
side. And we bordered Quadabushlia Township. We then come all the way down to Old Cape Road. So if that gives you kind of context.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
between Kariga and thing, and right next to Wedgwood Golf Estate.
Okay.
So for the PE guys, it's straight
Bit of
out.
golf and then
Yeah.
a bit of wildlife.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A chip and a
Lovely.
putt, and then
Yes.
you're there.
I know there's a gravel road that goes around as usual.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got that lovely. There's a hide, or is it a hide, or is it like an amphitheater kind of
Yes.
thing there
Yes.
as well?
Amphitheatre.
And as an amphitheater, and then the building on top that's like it can be used just for conferencing and stuff as
Daisy,
well.
yeah.
Day
Which is
centres,
quite cool.
Weddings, events. It's
Yeah.
our restaurant now. So
Yeah.
that
Okay.
big glass building we call the day centre is the restaurant, and
Okay.
it's the most popular part of kind of our day trade at the moment.
Yeah.
Weekenders and all sorts.
All right. So they come in, they'll get the restaurant, and they'll have a little bit game drive.
Hopefully they'll do
So
a
you
game
can
day.
literally,
Yeah.
can literally just step out from there.
Yeah, 100%.
And sort of, what are you busy with at the moment? You are the COO's operations.
Yeah.
I really never
So
know
I'm-
what these things stand for.
You know, titles these days, but
Yeah.
I'm essentially the general manager, so I'll overlook the whole operations.
Okay.
My directors are then people like Adrian and the Israfs and some of the other representatives. That
What's
are-
your average day? What is your?
There's no such thing as an average day.
Whenever you think the day is going according to plan,
I have a
it's
plan,
not.
and it never does what the plan is, unfortunately. But I suppose that's the nature of working in conservation and hospitality. It's never kind of straight cut and what you think it's going to be. So yeah, I mean, like today, for example, I had a meeting in near Shamwari with a bunch of other conservationists, and
Okay.
then I had to go past Patterson and look for farming stuff for the vineyard. And then and all of a sudden, my whole day that I was meant to do 1 or 2 things ended up being 5 or 6 things before I
Yes.
even got close to the reserve.
Of course.
You know. Yeah.
And so the vineyard's obviously something you're working on at the moment. Then.
Yeah,
So you're getting
it's
it right.
always ongoing, and it goes to sleep in winter, kind of
Yeah,
hibernates, all
okay.
the leaves fall off, and now
Yes.
it's getting warm again, like today.
What kind of grapes?
Shiraz.
Oh, Shiraz.
Shiraz,
Lovely.
yes. A red varietal.
I wouldn't
It's known for its
recommend-
hardy. Yeah, it's known for its hardy kind of
Okay.
growing style, but it's
Growing grapes in the Eastern Cape
I was
is
gonna say,
it's a labour of love.
Yeah, it's tougher.
there's a reason people don't have great vineyards in the
Yes.
East.
Tough. So when you drink it,
Yeah,
enjoy
okay.
it.
Okay, right.
A lot of,
Yes.
yeah, a lot of work.
But you say literally a couple of bottles. That's what you got there.
We did 600
600 on average we make per
out of
batch,
1
per-
hectare,
per
which
year.
is yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
quite a lot.
So we've got Shiraz, Rosé. We've done 2 rosés now. So
Yes,
we've done Shiraz
yes.
and 2 rosés.
Fantastic.
But I'll bring you a bottle.
Oh, love
I'll
to
bring
hear
you,
it.
bring you a bottle of each next time.
Now we'll have a little tasting.
As long as it's cheap.
Yeah, fantastic. No, but I mean, I love that trying different stuff as well.
Yeah.
But obviously, your conservation side, your animals, the release of the cheetah. I believe you had because there were how long ago were the cheetah released then? I think it was just after we went. I can't remember.
Yeah, you guys were at Mother's Day, you said last year.
Yes,
So,
I think-
it would have been
Yes.
just after
Just
that.
then.
That was
Yeah.
our first.
She arrived in April, I think, of last year. When is Mother's Day? March? When is?
They were
March
talking
short?
about it.
Yes.
Yeah, they were talking about it. I
So
don't-
she's a rewilded cheetah. So when we got her, she was born in captivity. So one of the things we do, because we're a small reserve, we've got to get quite creative with our conservation practices. We can't have free roaming lion for the rest of time on a 3,000 hectare reserve, for
Yeah.
example, because
Yeah.
they eat a lot and they
Yes.
get competitive in their ranges. So
Okay.
what we decide to do from a creative aspect is take on something like rewilding. So you'll take a cheetah that's born in captivity
Okay.
with really good genetics,
Yes.
and it'll be identified from specialists who work with cheetahs internationally.
When you say really good genetics, what do you mean?
So over time, like
Oh, there we go. It says Norman Collins asked on there saying, have you asked about the cheetahs?
there we go. There we
Maybe
go.
late to the point. No, you're not, Norm.
Um,
Great muso, that Norman.
Oh, hi, Cheryl's there.
Yes, I see that. We'll just have a look at some of the comments quickly as well. We were talking about the rewilding. We'll get onto
look,
that now.
there's Paul.
There's Cheryl Reynolds. How's it, Cheryl? Nice to see you too. And that's Paul Gardner. Must be.
Yes,
I
it
can
is.
see
And
you.
then you got high praise for your outfit.
Excellent. You
Yeah.
like it, eh? Nice. I like that. Dressed for the occasion. You're damn right, Belinda. And Paul's been doing some amazing. He was on last week. We had him on last week. He's
I'm
doing
watching
some
from the
amazing
airport.
Yes, and
Yeah.
Geneva now I see is flitting around the world like some sort of jet setter. There we go. There's a cheetah there. So is that one of them, or is
That's one of the cubs. So
so it's actually for pregnant.
yeah. So this was the great story. So the rewilded cats. So as we said, identify the genetics. You asked
Yes.
the question.
Yes. What about the genetics? What do you mean?
So, as kind of the world has evolved and animals used to obviously roam freely, and we introduced agriculture, and as a human race, we essentially started creating urban areas and started creating segments of where animals were fenced in.
Yeah.
Instead of letting animals roam freely and fencing the humans, we did it the other way around.
Okay,
We fenced
yes,
the animals and
yes.
let the humans roam free. And what it created is these pockets of, let's say, 10 cheetahs in this reserve, 10 cheetahs, and the inbreeding essentially
happening.
starts carrying on. So you need to find a genetic diversity through other sources. And
Okay.
usually it's swapping of cheetahs across reserves.
Yeah.
But now, because that's almost also getting too diluted because of the amount of trades, it's now going, well, let's look at the captive population, which is the same size as the wild population in South Africa.
Okay.
So
Wow.
taking
Jeez,
captive
like-
cheetahs, introducing them, and out of all the cats, they're the easiest to kind of rewild. And then getting them wild, teaching them to hunt, teaching them to kind of become a wild cat. And
How do you
she
go
took
about
a whole
that?
year to get to where she had cubs, and eventually had cubs, and that's one of the cubs you saw in the
Jeez.
thing. But
So you bring in the male. It was female. That's on.
yes,
on
we had
okay.
2 wild females
Okay.
on the property, and
Oh.
she mated with one of the
You mean 2 males?
two
Two
males.
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 Two males. I was going to say. It's really nice.
Interesting.
Two
She's
males.
identifying as a female.
Yeah.
But what Cameron's also
Yeah.
he's not telling you is that in Nyosi, which also means the bringer of light,
Yes.
she was born in captivity, and when she came to us and she was released, she'd never walked on grass before.
No ways.
Yeah.
So I said to Cameron, why is she's got this interesting
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, in the
Gait.
beginning, she was like, couldn't walk.
Yeah. almost like a girl which has put on high heels for the first time. And it was quite an interesting realization when you are rewilding an animal for somebody who doesn't necessarily come from a conservation background. They had to teach her how to hunt again.
Yeah, geez. And how do you do that? I mean, you just put them next to animals and they just hope that
Their instincts also kick
Instinct,
in to a
yes.
certain degree.
Yeah, I think we
Um,
all underestimate the power of
Yeah.
like natural instincts,
Yeah.
right? And I also had no idea in the beginning.
Yeah.
She's now my 3rd rewilded cheetah at Nyosi,
Yeah.
but in the beginning it was like there's not really a handbook. Everywhere's
yeah,
different.
yeah.
And, you know, it might be like this at one reserve where there's tons of grassland, but then you come to us and it's thicket. And cheetahs are obviously needing space and time to hunt.
Yes.
And they actually adapted to becoming ambush predators, almost like a leopard. So they would
Ambush, so like wait.
they were killing more animals, they were hunting animals such as kudu, for example.
Yeah.
Instead of a springbok or an impala, they were actually
Jeez.
ambushing in the thicket. So we were finding that they were killing a lot of the animals in the dense bush, which is very kind of cheetah-like.
Okay, not cheetah. Let's go for the
And
speed.
unfortunately, you'd never see it then, because instead of them
Yes.
out on the grass plains, but that
I mean, they
classic
worked
sort
out
of-
a life hack.
Yeah, exactly. They don't get bothered by us. They get
Yeah.
free
Yeah.
chow, and they're just going to run around the bush.
They're so clever. I think
They are very clever.
I often say to him, and I feel like we need to sit back and learn more from nature,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they've kind of solved the problems
We,
for
we,
us.
we kind of put them in a box in a way as
Yeah.
well. You think like a cheetah, okay, well, he's going to be open thing in like 100 k's an
Yeah.
hour,
Yeah.
and that's how he's going to catch
Yeah.
stuff. But actually, I mean, it's much easier just to catch something in the bush. Or,
Yeah, just sit and wait.
Can you imagine him sitting there like I don't
I
know,
promise-
waiting around?
The first time we released cheetah on the reserve, and I mean, shame, they were at an advantage because there had never been a cheetah on their property. So all the animals that were living there had never been stressed. They were like, life's good.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to eat
Like
me.
dodos, yeah, in
And,
Mauritius.
So cool.
and I was like,
So
it's going to
cool.
take these two a while to successfully hunt. And literally the first day out, I found they had killed a massive hartebeest, which is quite a big antelope.
Jeez, like, yeah.
And again, they'd ambushed the thing. And I think the antelope was probably a little bit confused in the beginning, but very quickly everything changed. All the
Okay,
animals
they're like,
are-
whoa, okay, hang
High
on, yeah.
alert.
Check,
High
there's
alert.
something in town.
Now they're all looking around, and every animal's adapted fully to kind of
Okay.
the presence.
So
of
they're
the
all everything adapts, like you said. Everything
that's great.
adapts, and then like you start seeing birds of prey and stuff
Yeah.
as well
It's
coming
quite
in.
amazing.
I mean, I can go on about it for hours. 'Cause
Vultures. I mean, do you get vultures there? 'Cause
I
that,
wish. So
that
there's-
freaks me. That's
They're quite
beautiful.
scary.
So
It's beautiful, but wow.
The Eastern Cape's just reintroduced vultures. Actually, like literally in the last couple of months.
That's it.
They were locally extinct due to over farming and lack of
Okay.
kind of wildlife spaces. So
Yeah.
the vultures are now, there's a few that have been released from the breeding centre. It's Vulpro Breeding Centre at Shamori, and
Sure.
they're releasing it for the greater good of the Eastern Cape. So I know that there's tracking apps you can follow and so on, but they've been coming over this side. They've been going near
So they
Thornhill.
track them.
Yeah, they've got.
Oh
like
my
little-
word! You must
little
let
collars
people
on.
know how to track these things.
I need to. I can't say off the top of my head.
Yeah,
I do
yeah,
know
yeah.
There's a link somewhere. And I'll
Can
check
you?
it out.
I mean, if you had to Google it, how would
If you
Google
googled Vulpro,
Vulpro?
Eastern Cape, so VULPRO, just Google Vulpro.
VULPRO. Write it in
Yeah,
there. Fill it in the
Vulpro,
comments.
Eastern Cape.
VULPRO.
Guys would pick up on it, but it's a really ambitious kind of rewilding project for the Eastern Cape. And
Okay.
I think it's testament to how well the surrounding game reserves of PE have done.
Yeah.
Like the fact that we now have so much space and wild space that we can reintroduce a previously extinct local species.
Gee,
you
isn't
know,
that fantastic?
which is amazing. Imagine going down to Addo and seeing vultures on
I know.
all over the place. It'd be awesome.
And they are such interesting birds to watch.
Yeah.
They're like insane, and they need such a lot of resources to keep going. There we go.
Yeah.
That's Vulpro. Philip has put it up there as well. And I love the fact that when these then say the vultures come in, there'll be more that get attracted, and I mean you can't stop a bird once you release it from a bit, it's going to fly. It's
Yeah.
going to fly wherever it needs to
Can't
fly.
stay away.
And that's why it's quite a selfish project, right? Because
Yeah.
you're releasing an animal that you know can't.
Yes.
It's not going to be
Yeah.
stuck in your fences.
Yes.
It's flying whichever way.
Yeah.
It's whether you like it or not.
So they're spending money on that. They're releasing them, and they're just hoping that,
Yeah.
that they're going to be able to breed and repopulate.
Repopulate the Eastern Cape, yeah.
But like you say, I think there are. I mean, I don't know. You're in the business here, so you would know if there a lot of farms sort of switching from agriculture or cattle farming on some to wild. I mean,
I think that has been kind of the MO for the Eastern Cape game reserves for a long time, is kind of rehabilitating previously farmed lands to wildlands.
what's the MO if you?
Modus operandi.
Modus operandi.
Modus
Excuse
operandi.
me. I don't. Yes.
And I think Adrian obviously started all Mr. Gardner back with
Yes.
Shamari in the day,
Yes.
and it proved very successful. And
Okay.
I think people are realizing that rewilding is a term that's now quite popular in conservation, but the guys have been doing it for years. Rewilding land, rewilding animals, reintroducing animals that previously were not thought to have been here, like the white rhino, for example. But because the farmers changed everything to grazing, it
Yeah.
makes sense that the white rhino are here now as well.
Yeah.
But I think, we're in a...
The right rhinos,
The right
yeah.
rhinos.
The right one, yes,
Another one.
let me tell you.
Yeah, we need them at our reserve.
Well, so the black rhinos are a little bit more aggressive, are they?
A lot more aggressive, yeah. And more characteristic of the Eastern Cape, but you don't want to run into those guys.
Are they more characteristic of the
Yes, so the black rhino actually belong there. They're kind of indigenous to the Eastern Cape thickets and so on. But the white rhino previously might have been not so much down.
So if you don't know the difference, don't go walking around with the rhinos. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Either way, don't do it.
We when Paul was doing his filming,
Yeah.
he got special permission to get into the reserve, and I went with him to film, and there were 2 rhinos there. They were just hanging, and they wanted to. They said, "Oh, well, maybe
just
just get a
sizing
little
you
bit,
up.
yeah, just get a little bit closer, go in." And they said, "No, look, these are white rhino. It's fine, don't worry about it." But one started coming towards us, and I tell you what, that I honestly nearly shit myself. I was like, that was really scary, because that thing can surely outrun you as well.
Yeah, 100%. You also realize how useless you are when you're on your feet. Like in a car, you could I'm just going to stand over here. But as a human, you're the slowest thing around. You're loud, you smell.
Yeah.
Every animal knows where you are.
Pale and weak,
Exactly.
Exactly.
And you can't hide because they'll smell you.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
what do
yeah.
you do?
No, what you do? You got to run up a tree, then they're going to move that tree over for sure.
Yeah,
There's
that's
no
the problem too.
But it's fine, you're in your camo.
And also,
but they can't see me.
They can't see you.
But no, okay. So if you want, if you say you do day trips, you have the restaurant there now as well. So if you want to go out for the guys watching, if you want to get to Nyosi, how do you book in there? Can you just phone? Can you?
Well, everything is bookable on our website.
Okay,
so
you got a website.
Everything very tech friendly. So,
Lovely. Okay.
so everything's bookable.
Nyosi.co.za, is it?
Nyosi Reserve.
NyosiReserve.com.
Yeah.
Oh, .com.
Yes.
NyosiReserve.com. There we go. Is this part of it here? Let's have a look at some of the pictures.
So that's our new accommodation. So we built 6 new of those cabins. One also has a hot tub, which is really fabulous. So come winter, you can get into a steamy hot tub, or summer.
That looks fantastic, let me just tell you.
It's a nice photo.
And the balconies look out straight onto the reserve. And the idea behind those were to have the glass windows as big as possible to make you feel like you're actually outside, which has been
amazing.
they've been
So
a good
hot
addition.
tub too.
Yeah.
You can hot tub and still look out the window.
And you can look at the stars.
We
No, the
actually-
hot tub is outside.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
outside.
is it
And I
outside?
must tell you, the one guest when they were there, so the hot tubs are in the accommodation's all fenced off, so it's safe.
Okay.
But the hot tub cabin, you can see the river at the bottom.
Yes.
And 2 male cheetah killed a blessbook on the bridge in front of the cabin.
No way.
So you're sitting in your hot tub and there's literally a cheetah kill
There's a
going on
kill
right below
happening.
you, and you can see the whole thing from your balcony.
Cheetah TV.
Cheetah, yeah. Nature's TV.
Yeah, isn't it amazing? Let's have a look at some of these other photos. I see. Okay, that's
the
from the inside.
Gotta do looking for
We
it.
can see Cam's inside there as well. I mean, this side having a look. But is that what is that? A little lava lamp? How
No,
very,
it's just like a wicker lamp.
I was going to say, very 70s.
I used to have a lava lamp.
I
used to
like the
love
whole
it,
long
yeah.
lamps.
They're such a vibe.
70s vibes is nice. Oh, there we go. That
another
looks.
one.
So, were they containers? Were they built from containers?
They
Looks
actually
like
came flat packed.
Oh, okay, flat pack.
Yeah, it's an amazing company in Pretoria, which they do
Okay.
it. So they assemble it off site, and then it arrives via truck, and then they assemble it. So it's quite a nifty construction. Yeah.
It's almost like Lego, they take all pieces, bring it on, and just put
Okay,
it together.
stick it together.
Yeah.
And that's lovely. Let's see what's. Oh, there we go. There's that looks like a
Sunset.
little Nyosi sunset.
Watching the Bush TV.
Yeah, see that? Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah, you have to look around the camera. We got cameras in front of us here, so we can't really see the screen too well. And then what's that? Oh, that's an elephant for you.
Yeah.
Is that? They've all got names, or they?
No.
Only our cheetah has.
If Rez could have it her way, they'd all have names.
You say never name an animal. Is
Never
that right?
name an animal.
Yeah, I get too emotionally
Oh my word!
connected to them.
That looks lovely. Little photography going on there. That looks like a little dam.
And that was because of all the rain. Actually,
Yes.
we've never seen water in that pan before until we had all the rain.
Okay,
And all of a
nice
sudden, we saw a whole new aspect of the reserve.
Yes. It's
And those are
lovely
the
giraffe.
Jerry's. We've had a new one which was born about
we had
2
a
weeks
baby
ago.
about a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they're doing quite well.
Yes, I mean, and giraffes were also indigenous here as well. I think we had just about everything here originally.
Giraffes actually was known as extralimital. So extralimital is a term that means they would be here periodically. So, for example, impala are the same. So before there were fences, the animals would have come here for the rainy season. I mean, you don't see many trees for giraffe around this side of the world. So
Yeah.
They would have come here in times of drought in other places. They would have charred here, relaxed for a bit, and then when the temperature changed or the climate changed, they would have just moved back. So that's what's referred to as extralimital.
It's crazy that they know, they can feel over 5 days, okay, well, it's going to stay cold like this, so we're going to move up.
They're so clever.
I know, it's just, it's crazy. Is that, I don't know if that's all the photos we got there. That's the lot. Okay, so it looks absolutely beautiful, and I know we've been on a drive there. We've got to come for another one. I see it sounds like because it looks like there's some more to see now.
Maybe we should do our next podcast from the hot tub.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm there. I'm there in my suit, my speedo.
South African flag, Fuffy.
Yes, Puffy. All right, and then any other sort of projects coming in the future? Anything that you?
Yeah, I think you've got to kind of walk before you run. So we're only a year and a half old. We try to systematically make sure we do it properly. We really want the kind of PE market to support us and get behind us as best as we can. We're trying not to charge over the top rates for a private reserve. We try to be a little bit more accessible to the locals. And I think when it comes to new projects, we really want to grow our conferencing, our events. We've got that beautiful amphitheater you spoke about. We'd really like to get into like live music, maybe in summer on a Sunday, and like Kirstenbosch, a mini Kirstenbosch vibe with a beautiful amphitheater and something different.
We do have a wedding expo coming up.
A wedding expo coming up.
Yeah.
Okay.
October, so that's a short
So,
term.
I mean, to get married out there would be beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And our wedding diary is when Cameron, the new plan was never actually to really do weddings.
Yeah, we moved away from weddings originally, and now we're back.
Okay.
And now we're back.
And once you do weddings, and you just get more weddings.
Exactly.
I'm afraid.
Self-fulfilling prophecies.
Yes,
But they're the best when you see how much love's in the room.
Oh, no.
It's the reason why you do
It's
them.
the family and everything.
Yeah,
They
it
are
is the
lovely
best.
celebrations. Although those brides and grooms can be full of cuck. Let me tell you.
Luckily, I don't deal with them too much.
That's.
Yeah.
When it's a wedding, then everybody.
Kill them with kindness.
Yes.
Just
but
kill
you
them with
have to.
kindness.
You have to. And so I mean, and as far as stuff that's gone on there, I mean, I know I've done a show there once. I did it for I think it was a property thing. Just Properties, I think, did a thing.
Yes, before our time.
That was quite that was quite fun, and it's a good venue. It's a lovely venue.
Yeah, and that's what we want to get back into. We want to be able to create space where everyone wants to get stuck in.
A bit of everything.
And
then so the most of your what would you say most of your business is for?
I think
which sections?
I think it fluctuates. So. In summertime and high season, it's obviously accommodation.
Cruise ships and stuff coming in.
Cruise ships are day visitors push us a lot in season, so December time and November time, and then it's events throughout the year. It's events and weddings kind of consistently throughout the year help you kind of generate your cash flow, and then it's cruise ships now, which are great, and we're starting to get some international conferencing, which is really nice. So you're talking about like a 7 to 8 day booking where they take all accommodation. And then they do a full conference there for 8 days. And then they take part in all the activities. That's really what we want.
How many can you accommodate there?
We can accommodate 28 sharing.
Okay.
Yeah.
28 sharing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is intimate. It's not a huge place, but that makes it just better. And I suppose better for the animals as well. You don't want to get too huge there.
Yeah, and we. Like most things, we've got to let the nature grow, obviously, natural breeding and get the animals, the population up.
Yes.
And so you don't want to overshoot the mark and create this, perceived demand that doesn't exist yet. Because if you don't have the full game experience, which we do, we're 90% of the way there, but you got to let it naturally take its course and grow as a population. And the same for our hospitality, I think, is there's no point building 40 units when we're starting to fill 10, and then we're going to fill 20, and then we're going to fill 30. So that's
is there a sort of a fight between the nature and then obviously the need to create income too? You know, 'cause you need profit, but there's nature.
You've hit the nail on the
Yeah.
head.
How do you do it? So
That is
that's
the
the balance.
central problem with any
gosh.
game reserve.
Yeah.
Do you have the answer to it?
No, I don't.
And the sad thing is, the conservation part is probably, it's definitely more than 50% of the operating costs.
Okay.
But essentially, you're not really seeing.
Kind
That's
of
not paying you back.
Yeah,
You're getting
yeah.
paid through people experiencing
Yes,
nature,
yes.
but you still have to then have the waiter and the chef and everyone running hospitality.
Yeah.
But they don't exist without each other. So
Yeah.
the game reserve has to make money off the hospitality to run,
Yeah.
and the hospitality only exists because of the draw card of
The game
the
reserve.
game reserve. But,
Yeah.
but you hit the nail on the head. And I think that's what's the daunting thing about conservation is how do people create these spaces that pay for themselves, right? Like,
Yeah.
well, how would Gino go and start a brand new game reserve knowing that
No.
elephants, buffalo, and etc. are going to cost millions to get
Yeah.
started,
Gee
and build a
whiz.
fence, and then you know
Yeah.
over time try and find a way into a very competitive market. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm grateful that guys like Adrian and the Israfs take risks in strange times like.
I mean, you say like competitive market, you're competing against other game reserves, but actually you all work together in the end.
Yeah.
I think it's like if you look locally, it must be very competitive. But if you
Yes.
look globally, like there's
Yeah.
nothing like this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So you're all in this game together, I suppose. And globally, people are going to have to come to Africa a lot of the time
Yeah.
to see what it
Wildlife.
really was like. Because
Yeah.
in Europe, you can't find this anymore.
No, you
No,
can't.
no.
You can't. I mean, you can go and see the Eiffel Tower. It's lovely, very nice. But actually,
But even from Cameron and I both Cape Town based, moving to PE, you see PE is just untouched beauty,
Yeah.
which you can't explain to people other than saying, come visit.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big
Just,
drive for Cameron and I is to,
Right, yeah.
yeah.
we got married in Morgan Bay
Yeah.
because
Morgan
we
Bay.
felt we needed to bring the
Transkei.
whole
Transkei.
the whole family needed to come see the Eastern Cape. So it's such a beautiful spot, and we feel very strongly that the tourism value is really high here. We just need to make sure that we market it in the correct manner. And we just had a group of it was 15 guests
From the UK, yeah.
from the UK.
From
and
the
as
UK.
Cameron- from
They were
Bogey.
lovely, they were good, yeah.
They were so good, and they did. It's almost like an incentive travel. So they came to do an immersive experience for South Africa.
Right.
So they didn't just get to see our animals; they also did the marine side to it. So
Oh,
we're the
okay.
only place in the
Yes.
world where you can see the big seven.
That's what makes peace.
It goes out to
Yes.
Bird Island
Yes.
and St. Croix, isn't it?
Yes.
It's, around there. Because it's all a marine reserve.
It's all marine reserve on the western side. They've got
Yeah.
the Addo section and the south, the Alexandria dunes and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Just got to get rid of those bloody bunkering bastards. We've got to sort out a bay.
Yeah.
Because it's. I mean, you can't in water. It's like the birds. You can't stop oil spills coming this way and heavy fuel being spilled in the bay. It's terrible.
And unfortunately, the ocean is a lot harder to regulate than the land.
Yeah, of course.
You can't just pick it up with a shovel and get rid of it.
No, you can't. You can't.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's back to Rez's point. That's kind of the uniqueness of what PE needs to buy into. Is that you have some of the most beautiful beaches around. You can drive 10 minutes or 20 minutes. You're in JBay.
Yeah.
The other way, you start hitting the Sunshine Coast.
Yeah.
There's game reserves every 20 kilometers.
Yes, they are. It's great.
And they all offer something different. And it's just something you can't find anywhere else.
Yeah.
The surf's good, the fishing's good.
Yes.
The mountain biking, the extreme sports are good. The kind of nature's good.
Well, like you said,
Hiking,
these guys came from like an immersive experience
Yes.
of so what's an incentive? There's incentive to it.
Yeah.
They come, they do it. I've heard of that a lot, and so they can come, they can stay there, 28 people or whatever,
Yeah.
they book out the whole place, and they have an amazing time.
Yeah.
And the word which kept coming out of it was life-changing. And the amazing part to this tour was they also wanted to do community-based activities. So a big part of Nyosi is also forming a very strong relationship with the community and trying to involve the community.
Yes.
And they actually went to a school and they did tree planting. So one of our projects is greening the community. So we've planted 800 trees since we've been in Nyosi.
Okay.
And I think when you take a UK-based, so they were a corporate company, and they were all good achievers, so they got rewarded to come here.
Okay.
Or a restaurateur company.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sorry, excuse me. for
problem.
that. And it was so amazing to see that they went to the school and they did help them with tree planting. They interacted with the kids, and the children felt so at ease with them, the guests, that they actually invited them to their music room.
Okay.
And they started singing songs together, and that real South African friendliness, which you can't explain to everyone. It's,
Hospitality, it's true. It's
so
true.
one of my friends is from Poland, and she said to me, the barista asked me how I'm doing today. And I felt so strange. But that's South Africa. Everyone wants to know how you're doing.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You're friendly, and P is very, very
Super friendly. Yeah,
it is.
everyone wants to know you.
But they say that hospitality. I think that hospitality comes from the Netherlands, because the Dutch are very friendly as well. They're also from Nederland. It's from the hospitality of the Afrikaans. You see what they say? The boerentroos. Ja, boerentroos.
I should know this.
It's hospitality.
I should know
I'm English,
this.
she's Afrikaans. She should
Yeah,
know
they say they're
So is
very
it he with a Dutch passport? I should know it.
You've got van de Cameron.
Yeah,
Just the
Cameron.
Yeah, my mother's Dutch.
Do you get a lot of Dutch tourists coming to the Nyosi?
We've had a few.
We had a few. We don't have them. We don't have that many yet.
A lot of Germans, because the Germans like to travel.
The Germans we get from the cruise boat. We get
Yes,
a lot of Germans.
and British.
And British.
British people.
And some
yeah.
American.
Yeah,
We've had a few Americans, yeah.
It's a
No,
slow
no, the
burn.
Italians don't like to travel much. I'm half Italian now.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, either move completely or you stay where you are.
Move to another city.
But we got,
Yeah.
But hopefully a lot of the European countries and America, I mean from all over, it would be lovely to, because it is such a what do you say, a diverse
Offering.
sort of offering.
Yeah. We can
Animals,
do
the
whatever.
plants, the natural diversity is huge here.
Yeah, it's amazing. It
Yeah.
really is. And the cultural diversity too.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Such a cultural heritage on this side of South Africa, and it's
I know the
something that
history
needs
is
to be
crazy.
embraced
Yeah.
as well. No, it's nuts. I mean, if you
Yeah.
you just need to read some history books, some of
Yeah.
the everything from the battles to the cause of chiefs, the anti-apartheid struggles. It was all kind of centered around a lot of the Eastern Cape. You know,
It was a flashpoint here,
Yeah,
for sure.
People forget
It's
about
the
it.
1820 settlers coming here, and I love it. I had a podcast, Des Latham's podcast. If you haven't heard it, you've got to look it up. It's actually amazing. There's a whole, and it's just Eastern Cape history, a lot of Eastern Cape history, and then South African history just in general.
Yeah.
But the Eastern Cape plays such a big part
Yeah, it's like a
of this
melting
thing.
pot almost.
Because it was the frontier, and it was Xhosa and Nguni and Sotho and the settlers, and then the German settlers, and the how the Brits and the mistakes that they all made, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so let's have a little check back into the history books with you guys.
Alright.
Where are you originally from? I see Philip is asking where'd you both meet and end up working in such an amazing place.
Where did we start,
Where did you
Cameron?
meet? Well, where did you meet first of all?
We
Let's
met-
just start with the relationship. The relationship
Yeah,
stuff.
the relationship. We met. We were both at varsity, I think. I was at UCT. She was at Stellies.
Okay.
But we had mutual friends.
Alright.
So a lot of my mutual friends from Cape Town ended up somehow becoming very good friends with Rez.
Did you also drink a lot in this one?
I was quite a good student.
Because I'd
I
say
think,
his friends probably drank a lot.
you know,
Yeah.
specifically when the South Africans play rugby.
Yeah,
When the Boks are on the screen.
Yeah,
Okay,
so we had mutual friends, and I think
Yeah.
we constantly were kind of overlapping
Okay.
in our friend group. And
But Cameron always
I
had
was always
girlfriends.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's like someone on his arm.
And I think,
was
and lucky for us, because the timing ended up being perfect.
Perfect,
and
yeah.
we
Oh,
finally
okay,
reconnected.
okay.
It was actually a good friend of
meant,
ours.
those girls meant nothing to you, Cameron. They meant
Yeah,
nothing.
there you go. You said no.
It made him a better man for me.
Yeah, everything's a learning curve, right? But yeah, we reconnected at our very good friend's engagement party.
Where we were both
And
bridesmaids.
yeah, the funny thing is we were both bridesmaids at this.
He was a bridesman.
The honorary bridesmaid. And then
really?
the best thing was Nicole, who is the girl we're talking about.
bride.
She was then one of Rez's bridesmaids. So at our wedding it was really nice. It was kind of like a 360.
Okay,
And
so
their baby also came. So
And
we're
their
in
little
the
baby,
baby stage at the
Oh,
moment.
my
We're
So no, it was
having
cool.
babies.
all your friends having babies.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, we're at that
Saturday
age now. We're
stories.
at that age now. Yeah, they're either
So now
getting married or having babies.
Yeah.
So now you're a Doyle.
She's
Yeah.
a
I'm
doyle.
a
A Doyle. And I know some Doyles. I know and Ronnie Doyle. And
There's quite a few
yeah.
here. We often get
I've been
asked.
asked a few times. I'm not
Yeah.
related to any of the Eastern Cape Doyles,
Okay.
I can tell you that.
Right.
I'm from Cape Town. We both from
Ronnie's
the
a
Eastern
great
Cape.
guy. Somebody tag Ronnie Doyle.
Maybe we are related, Ronnie. I don't know. But
We
yeah.
have to go back in the lineage. Yeah.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, we're both from the Western Cape.
Okay, so Western Cape.
I grew
Where-
up in Cape Town.
Okay. Where'd you go to school in Cape Town?
I went to Bishops.
Oh, really?
Cape Town, yeah.
Oh, look
At
at
least
that.
I didn't tell you. You asked. You asked before I told you.
You know, secret handshakes and everything.
Ja. Dus ja, een ex-Afrikaanse meisje.
Oh ja, van
Van Durbanville.
Durbanville.
Ja.
Dis 'n Bellville daai.
Nee,
Dis 'n
Durbanville.
Durbanville. Dis 'n Parow nie.
Nee, nie die arrow van Parow.
Parow van Parow.
No.
Ken jy van wat is sy naam? Jack Parow.
He grew up in Durbanville.
I'm sure he did. My
Yeah.
cousins also grew up in Durbanville.
Yeah, I love
Leslie and Catherine, they were there at
Yeah.
Fairmont.
So I went to Stellenberg. So basically, yeah, and I
Stellenberg.
used to play a lot of hockey at Fairmont.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Stellenberg, is it further towards Stellenbosch?
It's actually, yeah, no, it's in like the
right
border
in
of
the-
Bellville. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So Tiger Valley was your haunt?
More like the hockey field and the tennis
Oh,
court.
really? You
Yeah,
don't go to
yeah, no,
malls?
not really.
Oh,
no,
not that.
No.
Like, I like that they got those little things that go down the mountain.
Oh yes, that tobogganing.
Tobogganing.
Yeah, that was.
That seems quite risky down a mountain.
That's great. That
It was quite
so
fun
much
though.
fun.
You pick up some with your weight. You'd pick up a hell of a lot of speed.
Oh, just a little fat shaming, yeah, guy.
I'm just saying he's.
Oh yes, no,
he's
he'll
well
be good.
built.
He'll be good. He'll be good
Yeah.
at
Tobogganing.
Gravity and me will work well together.
tobogganing.
Tasty. Sorry.
Okay, so and did you how did you get into this whole what did you do before? What was your first job, you know?
What was my first job? Look, I've been coaching rugby my whole way through
Okay.
kind of varsity.
Yeah.
It was always a passion of mine. I think
You love
if-
rugby, yeah.
Love rugby and love coaching. And if I hadn't become what I'm doing now, I probably would have been a teacher. It was kind of my two ideas. I didn't really know where I wanted to go.
Yeah. What were you studying at UCT then?
Environmental sciences.
Oh, so you did go into that.
But my thinking was, if I didn't do my postgrad, if I didn't get, so I did my postgrad at Rhodes in environmental geographical sciences, but if I didn't get the scholarship I was looking for my postgrad, I would have gone into PGC, which is the teaching degree.
Okay, yes,
And I would
yes,
have
okay.
pursued the coaching career, and who knows. But first job. What was my first job? It was obviously coaching, and then I worked as a waiter.
Oh yes.
So I've done a lot of weird things. I worked as a waiter in a restaurant in Cape Town. I then was running a YouTuber's logistics kind of chain for a couple of months, for like 8 months.
Okay.
Out of the UK, I was in and out of the UK.
Jeez, like,
doing
okay.
kind of logistics, and then I worked for a non-profit called Abelobi for a bit, kind of spare time. Going,
Abelobi.
Yeah, it's
What does that
sustainable
do?
fisheries in the Western Cape.
Okay.
But there's a company in PE which has got a similar
Very
name.
similar
I've seen
name,
it.
yeah.
Abalone. That doesn't sound good.
That sounds dodgy. And then after Abelobi, what did I do? And then I worked for a gentleman up in KZN in Winterton who ran educational environmental trips called Together Trails. His name was Lee Fuller, the owner.
Okay, so you're getting into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I left Adrian had actually gave me my first break back into the industry properly. In that, I was working for the YouTuber while doing these other jobs, kind of on the side in my free time. And I was like, what am I doing? I've studied for 4 years to get these 2 degrees.
Yes.
And get to this point, wrote a thesis that took me ages, and
She's like, okay.
and I'm busy.
What
doing
was
it.
your thesis on?
Yeah.
It was on tourism in Addo. So I actually stayed
Addo.
6 weeks in Addo. Yeah. So when I was at Rhodes for my postgrad, and then we
Okay,
did.
of course. Okay.
Yeah, but
Rhymes down.
yeah, but
Really
Adrian.
nice.
So Adrian, my uncle knows Adrian, and I was like, how the hell do I get back into this industry? I'm so far removed now. It's been like 4 years of doing everything but conservation.
yes.
And my uncle asked Adrian if I could come and job shadow for a while, and Adrian kind of opened the door for me and
Wow.
let me come in, and I shadowed some of my mentors who I now work with, which is nice.
Magic.
Like
Eh?
Taryn, back in the day, she
Yes.
was someone who I was under when I got what would you call it, interned. at
Yeah.
Standard. And then after the internship, a couple months passed by, and there was this job in Mauritius that Adrian and Paul and Taryn were involved with. And I was like, can I apply for the job? No, it's only for a Mauritian, because it was in Mauritius.
Okay, yes. You need to speak French.
Yeah, and there was this whole local, you had to hire locals only. But after a couple of months, they're like, we cannot find a Mauritian who wants to do the job.
Wow.
Or is qualified for the job.
Yes.
So then eventually, like, do you want to come and work for us in Mauritius and start be involved in starting Kestrel Valley.
Jeez, like.
So that was how it started, and then I got retrenched 4 months later.
Oh.
But that was COVID's fault. That was
of
fault.
course.
And then
Okay.
Adrian brought me on the project at Hopewell.
So he didn't let you toil too much.
No, so I'm very grateful to the
Yes,
gardeners and Taryn and their kind of
And I'm very
faith in
grateful
my
that
abilities.
Mauritius didn't happen, because if it wasn't for Mauritius, Cameron and I
Oh,
wouldn't be together.
we wouldn't have been together.
Uh-huh. So did you meet in Mauritius?
No, we met when
No,
he
if
was
I'd stayed in
retrenched.
Mauritius,
Yeah.
if I'd kept the job in
Yeah.
Mauritius, we wouldn't have. So COVID actually saved the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you left all the beach babes there.
Yeah.
And then you came back here.
And you found
Yes.
Durban for Beach Bay.
And yourself, okay, so you say you grew up Durbanville,
Yes.
and then
My working story is a lot more linear than Cameron's, so you
Okay,
can tell our different
straight.
personalities.
yes, yeah. You're not a risk taker, are you?
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm very much black and white, but
Okay.
which made this very interesting. So I studied at Stellenbosch. I did my undergrad in business, and then I did my postgrad in marketing.
Okay.
Best 4 years of my life at Stellenbosch. Absolutely
Really?
loved it. Yeah, I can highly recommend if anybody
Okay, were
wants
you
to study.
part of
Volkenhof?
Yes.
No, but I know a lot of people which were at
Oh,
Volkenhof.
right, okay. Did you know there's special handshakes and things? Did you go and do
part of the
sacrifices
secret
and
club,
things?
yeah.
I'll let them tell the stories themselves. And then, so then I finished at Stellenbosch. My dad had always worked in the fashion industry, doing quite a lot of projects in terms of the tech side and all of that. So I always said to my parents, I want to go into the fashion industry, but I want to understand the numbers behind it. And my sister-in-law was working at Tues at the time, and they had a great grad program. So before I left, just after I left Stellenbosch, I got my job at Tues, so I did the internship program. So I'm actually a buyer.
Fashion.
Yeah, I'm a fashion buyer.
Well,
7.5
I'm surprised you
years.
haven't noticed me before, because I'm quite good with fashion myself.
I saw
if I
those
might say so.
cheekbones
We've
look
seen
good
it,
on
we've
runway.
Seen that wardrobe in the back.
You see it over there?
Yeah, I think we need to get a boa.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those.
Love it.
Just before we carry on, let's have a look at some of the comments again. I see this. I see there's quite a few comments coming in. There's Elmarie. It says hello, Elmarie. She's wife of our weather guru. Yes.
Amazing.
And I see Brendan Kelly there. Uncovered Gem. It says, oh, there we go. Taryn says, hello guys from G&T. We've been having it. We've been running out together. I think
That's the Taryn I was just talking
Yeah,
about.
that's
okay. Oh, there's Taryn. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
And then Brendan Kelly, he's our motorman. He does our car stuff. Anything petrol heads want to find out about. Now the uncovered gem right on our doorstep. Absolutely. And anybody can go out there. And like I said, the rates are great. So you've got to do yourself a favor, for sure. And I see Natasha. How's it, Natasha? Nice to see you there as well. And Mimi Rupp. I see Mimi there as well. It's fantastic. Famous image. Oh, she's talking about one of the
Cubs.
one of the Cubs. Yes. Oh, fantastic.
I think there was a story there from a question from Mr. Collins, Mr. Collins.
Yes, Norman.
Norman, that's
Yes.
Braden's.
Yes.
So this is the question. Back to the cheetah. Those cheetahs, cubs, we actually rescued.
Okay.
So that was the rewilded mother we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
So after a year and she became rewilded, she mated with one of the wild boys.
Okay.
She broke her leg.
On April Fool's Day.
On April
1st of
1st.
April.
So Braden phones me, Norm's son is our most senior guide at the moment. And Braden's like, listen, something's wrong with this cheetah.
Okay.
So I had to get the vet out, public holiday. It was pissing with rain as well.
Really?
Terrible.
Oh, jeez.
And we had to we darted her, took her in. We were like, we're going to have to get an x-ray machine. It's going to take us a couple of days. Put her in the boma. Got the x-ray machine 2 or 3 days later. And as darted her again, as we were x-raying her, realised definitely clean break. Leg snapped.
How does it happen?
Could be, if you're running at that speed and you stand on an ant mound or a loose piece of ground, you can just break something.
Jeez.
But anyway, while we were x-raying her, we realised that she had been lactating and that she had in fact had cubs. And the vet was like, guys, when we caught her, she had already given birth because she's the same kind of condition she was then. So the cubs have been born before we caught her.
And there's the cub there.
There's a cub there. That's one of them.
That's feisty.
What's all
That's
that?
a feisty one.
What's all that furry stuff going on
They
there?
actually mimic honey badgers. when they're born.
You know what a honey badger looks like? The white back and the black bottom. They're very feisty animals. Don't mess with honey badgers.
Yeah.
So it's like a bit of like a natural defense mechanism where the cubs are born to look like honey badgers because no one wants to stuff with honey badger. So everyone stays away from them. And they look so different now. They look completely different. But so we had to go and find these 4 cubs. Well, we didn't know there was 4 at the time. We just knew that she had cubs. She was now in a boma with a broken leg, and no one had seen the cubs. We didn't even know they existed.
Oh no, they're alone.
They were alone. And
They're all alone.
For like 3 days or so, they'd been alone.
And they were tiny.
They were tiny.
Little parcels.
Tiny, like little babies.
But feisty.
Yeah.
Sharp claws.
I'm
So
sure.
we sent Braden. I sent Braden and Jack the guides, and I was like, guys, you got to start looking. And because her GPS collar had died, ironically, like 3 months before.
Oh, no.
So we had no idea. So then Braden and Jack went out, and then we, with our vet, we were deciding like, how the hell are we going to?
So I
What do we
suggested,
do?
let's take off
Yeah.
one of our Garmin watches
Garmin watch.
and put it on her leg
Okay.
and let her run, and then we can track
See.
her
Well,
via
it was Mary's to put it on the collar.
collar to put it.
So she still had the collar, but wasn't working. So we were even like, do we put the
And
GPS
then
watch
we went,
on?
no, that's a
Yes.
bad idea because you have to.
Yeah.
The location tracking wasn't very accurate.
No,
so
it's not,
That's
yeah.
not a good idea.
Okay, so it didn't
We
happen.
loaded
No.
her in the boot of my bucky. She was still
Sedated.
Yeah.
And we knew she had a broken leg, but we were like, we're either going to lose the cubs or
Let her walk.
Yeah.
or operate on her. So we decided, look, let's take a risk and let's drive her back to where we caught her
Yeah.
Yeah.
and release her and see if she takes us in a direction.
Yeah.
But as we were driving her in the bucky, in the back of my bucky with Murray,
She's
the vet
loaded. The
sitting-
vet's sitting in the boot.
As I'm driving, I get a phone call from Braden. He's like, I found the cubs.
Oh my word.
So we
Thank
quickly
goodness.
reverse
Okay.
dropped her back, half
Okay.
asleep, left her there, woke her up,
Oh shit.
and then we had to go rescue these 4 cubs. in
And the
middle
sun
of
is
nowhere.
setting.
Sun is
Sun is
setting.
setting.
Oh, it's getting dark.
Luckily, we had like the vet who was there X-raying,
Yeah.
plus the vet nurse, plus
Yeah,
a
Jacques.
Jacques who's a
So all of
vet
them
advised.
Yeah.
So we had like a
But
team
just
of
per
6 or
chance.
7.
It wasn't supposed to be like
Yeah.
that.
But we had
Yeah.
no night vision goggles. We had no infrared, nothing. And you can't shoot a cub with a dark gun because they're too small anyway.
Yes, yes.
So we found them, and all we had to catch them was game drive blankets. So we'd use them as like throw nets. So and somehow we managed to catch all 4. It took us like 3 or 4 hours, and
3 or 4 hours.
we
These guys are
we
feisty.
saved all 4 of the cubs, and that's
And
when
fast.
You're
that's when
fast.
they went back to the boma with the mother, and those photos you
Yeah.
saw were of
They
the
must have
cubs.
been starving.
So they're still in the boma now. So if people visit,
Okay.
they'll be in the boma until December,
Alright.
when they're old enough and her leg is healed enough for us to release them all into the.
Okay.
To
So they're
the,
still in the boma. His leg's still
Yeah.
fixing. Okay.
Still healing. So we have to look after them, and it's actually a bit of a blessing because the cubs aren't at risk. They can't get attacked by anything else because they're in the safe.
Well, she's
And
lucky.
the boma's
because
big. It's 100 by 100 meters.
Yeah,
It's actually like a big pen. It's a massive pen.
Wow.
But we do often drive past because she likes to sit on the termite mound or the ramp at the back, and you can see her on game drive sometimes. But but they're still there. Beautiful.
Okay.
And it's amazing to see their personalities.
Yeah.
All 4
Yeah, they're all
of
very
them.
feisty.
There's one which is like super feisty. There's
Yeah.
a little runt which is a lot more chilled, slightly smaller. So me wanting to name everything. They're very cute, but I don't.
Well, we're not naming them.
No,
Okay.
we're not naming them.
Oh, magic. All right.
Wow,
Well, I
that's-
think it's probably time for a little bit of getting to know you section. Just test you with a couple of questions each. I think that's a good plan. And let's do it. Let's do it.
Get to know all about you.
All right. Have you got any strange superstitions or like quirks? Something that you know. I used to jump over the lines in the pavement.
Oh, no. I'm not very
I'm
superstitious
not
at all,
superstitious
really.
either, yeah.
No.
I do believe if I'm fishing, I get superstitious, but that's
Oh,
about
right.
it.
Okay. And you're
Yeah.
like,
I'm just like, no, that's working,
Cameron
that's
does
not-
have one.
yeah, what?
Do I?
You have to have a brandy and coke for the Springboks to
I
win.
believed it in the
Oh.
World Cup. I believe
Yes,
it was.
that was
Brandy
a
and Coke.
superstition.
You
Yeah.
didn't
You score a try almost every time. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So Brandon Coke. Oh, Brandon
Test it out
Coke.
this weekend,
The
yeah.
score. Every time. Classic. Oh, I love it. Okay. What makes you really angry?
Oh, yeah, lots of things.
Oh.
The Mooren. Come on. Rez,
Um,
you can tell me what. Rez, you're going to tell
Oh
me
gosh,
first.
I have to keep this very filtered probably. Things which make me.
Actually,
What about
look,
people?
I don't know.
We're quite calm generally, I'd say.
Are you?
Yeah.
But I think when in a working outcome, sometimes when people take really long to get back to me on emails.
Then you give them a bit of a rev.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I shouldn't say that because I also sometimes take 1 or 2 days. Sorry.
You know? And yourself, Cam?
I actually don't really get too angry, but the things that irritate me, but I think...
If Cameron gets angry, run.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often.
You've got a long fuse, but then when it happens, it's like...
Then
it turns short.
It's like Nyosi animals.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Okay, something which you own, which you truly cherish.
I would say our film camera, because we've got some amazing pictures on there that we've taken. So because of the industry moving from fashion to here, I said to Cameron, we really need to document what we do. So Cameron's done such amazing things, but we never ever do anything with the pictures. It just stays on our phone. So my film camera has become something, because we know we have to print the pictures.
Did you take some of those on there?
No, actually, Cameron's cousin took one on a film camera. The elephant one is Cameron's cousin, which took that on film. So that's one thing. And it's like it just encapsulates like all of our best times together. Yeah.
But you haven't got a thing that like I always find things remind me of people or things remind me of time or time or something.
Yeah, I've got
a book.
Yeah, which book are you talking about? Most prized position, but my most prized position, and sorry to say this, but I got a jersey given to me as a gift from
Back to rugby we go.
But it's Rassie Erasmus's jersey.
Rassie's jersey
from the 2019 final. His coaching jacket. So.
Oh, well, that's I mean, you could auction that off, you know.
No, but that one I'm keeping firmly for myself.
So you're buried, you're going to bury it with you.
This jacket, it was given to Cameron at a very pivotal time.
Okay.
So it was given to him just before our wedding. Oh. And the gentleman who gave it to Cameron, I looked at him square in the eyes and I said, do you realise
like a week before the wedding,
you've messed up my whole wedding plan? And he goes, oh my gosh, Rez, I'm so sorry. What do you mean? I was like, he's not going to wear his suit at our wedding. He's not going to wear this jersey at the altar.
Where's rugby jersey?
That rugby jersey clearly stays in the cupboard.
Oh, okay. It's a special one.
My fishing rods are quite prized possessions.
Okay, yeah. You like that?
Not me.
But you always enjoy fishing. So
I think mine, so yours is associated with people. Mine's like activities or like sports.
Things that you like.
Things that like to bring,
Do you find you meditate when you fish?
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's kind of like, it's the one place I can zone out, which I suppose is meditating. I can sit there for hours and not catch anything and still be like, gosh.
You catch more if you have a brandy and coke.
No, then you fall off the rocks. That's not a good idea. I like to fish on the rocks, so I don't try not mess around too much out there, but if we're on the soft sand, maybe.
Cameron takes a tackle box and I take a snack box.
There we go.
I'm
some knickknacks, a little couple of cheeses. Nice.
All the more carbs, the better.
I like it. Okay, so how's your life different than you would have imagined when you were younger? Did you always want to do this?
Yeah, I think I'll answer first because mine's probably a bit more straightforward. But I grew up going on holiday, fishing, and being outdoors, being in remote places,
outdoors,
going to Addo. And I just always kind of gravitated to the outdoors, and I think inherently I always knew it was going to end up. Like, as my mum always tells a story that when I was young, we used to drive through to the Eastern Cape. We used to have a holiday home just past Port Alfred.
Oh, nice.
And I'd always say, apparently, I could see myself living here one day.
Bequeenie.
Yeah, close to
Close to very close.
And then I got accepted into Rhodes, which was kind of left of centre because none of my mates went there.
Just up the Salem Road, you know.
Pretty much. Because I went to Bishops and went to UCT.
Yes.
I was like, I can't stay in this bubble. I've been here for my whole life, and then went to Rhodes. Was lucky enough to get a kind of a scholarship in the field that I liked, and the rest was history. And I got the foot back in the door, and here we are.
Okay,
so for me, it's kind of fulfilled what it was. It took me a while to get you, but I got you.
But you kind of aimed in your mind, whether it was consciously or not. You were aiming all the time for doing it.
Yeah, I feel like it's the arrow kept swinging and eventually settled on the true north.
That's it. Yeah,
off we went.
And yourself, you were like a marketing guru.
Oh, no.
Business economics. There you go.
It's funny how Cameron says his mom tells a story that he always thought he could see himself in the Eastern Cape. And my mom always said, Rezanne, you're going to end up on a farm and a boy who wears khakis. And I always looked at my mom and I was like, no, Mom.
No ways, Mom.
No way, Jose. But very similarly to
Cameron, I'm a fashion girl.
I'm from fashion. Yeah. If you said to me 5 years ago I would be sitting in the Eastern Cape talking to you about conservation,
No.
I would have said, not Rezanne. No, not her. But yeah, I think, well, my true north is actually Cameron, because
Yes.
I moved here for love, and Adrian
Yes.
and the team were so kind enough to take me on in a marketing capacity to grow the business. And
As well.
it's actually been I don't think many people get to say that their partner is working with them, and it takes a very specific kind of couple. And
Yes.
we've had our hiccups, but
Okay,
thank
yes.
goodness you can see our personalities are so different. So I
Yes.
think instead of kind of going at one another, we actually complement one another.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Good. So what irritates you about Cameron?
he's too chilled.
You're too damn chilled, man.
He's so calm.
How can you be so calm?
I'm like, Cameron, we have a massive issue. And he's like, don't worry, let's just talk about it. And then invariably 99% of the time, he finds a solution to
Yes.
it. So he's very good at finding.
Okay, what are your strengths as opposed to Cameron's? Where are you like the one that takes the lead?
I would think I'm a bit more business minded.
I think
Yeah, like I don't want to admin.
I think she's better at the short term decision, like
It's the trigger.
maybe on the moment decision
Yes.
in terms of some of the business stuff. But
you're a bit more emotional,
I think,
you know?
I'd say
I'm far more
She's more
emotional.
emotional.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
more
okay.
emotional. Definitely more
Um,
emotional.
I tend to think a little bit longer
Term.
Yes.
feel
Yeah.
sometimes, but I'm good at solving practical problems quite
Yes.
quickly. Whereas she's very good at solving the kind of more creative.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely more on the creative
Oh,
side. Yeah,
creative.
more creative.
Yeah.
Cameron is conservation. I'm still learning. I'm
Yeah.
the creative space.
Yes.
And that's
But
where
also
I thrive.
better at the marketing side, obviously.
Yes, I
Because
love
you
it.
can-
Yeah, the
And-
marketing side is she's very good at.
And
Yeah.
I love, I love the thrill of launching a new product. It's
Yeah.
like my ultimate. So.
And also a people person.
Yes, I love people, but I've actually come to realize as I've got older, I enjoy my computer sometimes a bit more because it doesn't speak back.
Yeah.
It just you need to
Oh,
plug
so
it
she's
in.
quite bossy. She's quite bossy then as well. Tells you
Yeah.
what to do.
Yeah.
Okay, I know there was a thing that you said your favorite pastime.
Oh, my favorite,
Yeah,
my favorite celebrity.
You know, celebrity.
Oh, favorite celebrity
Yeah.
as well. You can do that too. Yes. What's your favorite celebrity?
Roger Federer.
Oh, really?
Roger Federer.
Is that the guy?
But he's almost like Cameron. He's calm.
Okay.
Yeah. He's,
I don't know.
Has $1 billion. You know?
It's a billion, it's great. You can be
Yeah,
calm
yeah.
all the time. You've got $1 billion.
Must be easy.
true.
And Roger Federer, you like Roger?
Yeah. I love his story. I like
Yeah.
what he does, how much he gives back to the community. And also tennis is one of my favorite sports. So
Okay, you like that.
yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
Oh, how very nice and colonial of you. You like tennis here at PE as well.
Well, we started playing more paddle here because
Oh, yes, yes.
we've
That was
actually
quite
realised
fun.
it's
Bit
more of a
easier, yeah.
leveler between the two of us.
Yes.
Because on the tennis court, shame, Cameron.
No, she
Oh,
rinses me every time.
yeah. Rinse and repeat. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, and yourself, you're celebs. I mean, you know, I don't know.
Quite a few. I mean,
It's definitely
but
a rugby
not the
player.
celebs. It'd either be sportsmen
Yeah.
like rugby players, or it'd be a guy like David Attenborough or someone like that. You know, that's kind of like a hero that you meet. But I'm not too into the celeb stuff.
Yeah.
I'm more the
Yeah.
sportsmen and.
But
kind
Roger
of
Federer is a
like-
sportsman.
Yeah, he is, but he's also
Yeah.
a celeb.
Rassi
He's
as
also
well.
a celeb.
Rassi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rassi's good.
And the best is when you come to the reserve, we look out on Rassi's neighborhood.
Dispatch,
really?
dispatch. You
Yeah.
can just see on the back
Yeah.
there.
The patch is
Yeah,
there. I've had Donnie on the show. He's fantastic. Yeah, Donnie Gerber was amazing. It was amazing. Okay, and the weaknesses. What are your weaknesses?
I've got a short fuse.
Oh, is it?
She does.
And you,
Yeah.
admin.
Jeez, admin. I hate admin, but I can do it. I don't know. I think perhaps sometimes confrontation can get me a little bit.
Okay.
You know, it's one of those things. I run
Don't
into.
like it too much.
Yeah, it's always difficult. You know.
Yeah.
It's always difficult to kind of take people on uncomfortably. It's something that you got to learn, and I think the only reason I say that is because as the general manager, you deal with it a lot, so it's kind of like every time you go in, you're like, here we go again, conflict. And then when you get too much of it, you're almost like flipping out.
Yeah, I can't anymore.
Yeah.
Ik kan niet meer.
Yeah, but I think that's really lucky. That's Rez is the more impatient one, but it works.
Okay.
Good combo there.
What we say, okay, you got to ask us about each other, and I've seen you're a
Okay.
couple. The things that people wouldn't know about Reds.
Oh, God.
She's a very good golfer. I don't know. How many people know that.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Well, she's quite tall, so it would be a good swing.
and a very good hockey player. I mean, she played for the EP Masters team after only being here for a year.
There we
But a
go.
lot of people do know that about her.
Okay.
What do people not know about? She's quite an open book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Your heart's on your sleeve.
Very
Yes,
much.
very
Too much so.
Oh,
To my
okay.
detriment.
Okay.
My face can't hide anything.
And about Cam, what did you say?
He's actually a very big softie.
I think people know that.
I don't think people know to the like. Cameron loves a head scratch.
Oh, really?
It is debilitating.
Okay,
Yeah.
so when you slow him down, just like,
Yeah. You can
Okay.
control him.
I love it. I love it. All right, let's have a pet peeves. No, I suppose that's the same as things
Yeah,
that
similar
irritate
to-
you,
yeah,
or
yeah.
similar sort of thing. Some questions here. Here we go. Bear knows. Bear Grylls knows Roger well, and I have contacts for you.
my word,
Rez. There
Paul.
we go. Paul Gardner's
Careful
got.
what you wish for.
Don't
Paul.
open that. Don't open that can of worms, please.
And I tell you what, Paul, we've been watching that cam
At Founders.
Founders Cam.
It's amazing.
It's
we've
the
seen it.
best thing we've ever discovered on YouTube. As well, amazing.
and you
At
can
Founders
just watch it.
Lodge. At Founders Lodge, we've got a webcam that's live. You just look it up on YouTube. It's 24/7. They follow the animals. There's always a guy like checking out or something. I don't know if
I
it's
think the
automatic.
camera actually moves.
The camera moves for movement
Yeah, it's
or
like
something.
AI. Yeah.
AI moves. It's amazing. It's amazing, and it just follows the animals around, and it's and they come and you're watching. There's nothing for like an hour, and then
then
there's
all
a
of a sudden-
zebra, and then there's a buck, and then there's a rhino.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's
Unbelievable, man! It's just amazing. I see some of the other comments here while we're going there. I see. There we go. Day trips. Do you have day trips and stayovers?
Yes.
There as well.
So-
Both, eh?
We do 3 game drives a day. So we have
Okay.
mornings, 2-hour game drive in the morning, 2-hour game drive in the afternoon, and then a 3-hour sunset game drive.
And that's 4 vehicles per time, so 40
Yes.
people per slot.
So generally, the people that are staying over, they'll get the nice 3-hour game drive.
Well, you can decide.
choose.
So
you can just
choose,
always.
yeah.
our package is, I like to call it a boulder bear. So we start with a room rate, and then we can add on your activities. So we'll just, it's almost like a smorgasbord. We give you a
Yeah,
list,
yeah,
and you
okay,
can
okay.
choose what you
Yeah,
want.
the nice thing is as a South African, if you want to come and
Yeah.
just pay a self-catering rate, you get the exact same accommodation a
Yeah.
full board guy would get.
Yeah.
But then it's up to you to go to the restaurant and get your breakfast, lunch, and dinner that you pay
Okay,
for.
yeah,
If you want a
okay.
game drive, you book which ones.
Yes.
If you want a picnic, you just book it. So, or you can go full board and lodging and get everything,
everything,
and it'll
yeah.
cost you 6 times the price. But
Yes, yes.
that's where we're trying to get the locals involved as well.
Yeah.
So the average South African earner can say, you know, it's not
We don't
not
need to
too
stay
out of
over.
my range,
Yeah.
and
We
I
can
can
go.
go. Yeah.
You can just choose this,
Or you
and
can
then
just
go.
come for a breakfast and a game drive and enjoy the
lovely.
facilities. And I can't wait for season to come because that's my favorite time when people we have picnic blankets and a basket
that's
and a
nice,
bottle of
lovely.
wine. And
Oh, so you
just
can
people-
actually get that,
Yes,
and then you go
and-
out.
So you
Sit on
can
the lawn and kind
just
of
come to us. You don't
There
have
we
to go on a game
Jenny
drive.
says so close to home, so lovely. Love cheese boards.
Oh.
Yes, I know.
Cheese is my favorite thing.
Oh, Ingrid Krief, she's loving this as well. Ingrid, you're going to take Andrew out there as well. Her husband's Andrew, and he's a recording guy. He does recording of. He was with the SABC for many years. He recorded our first album, I think, as well, which is marvelous.
nice.
But yeah, you got to take Andrew out there, Ingrid. It's time. It is time. But yeah, so let's do 2 more of these things. Let's have a look here.
Sure.
The stupidest thing you've ever done.
Cameron. I'm
What is that?
calculating.
Is that your answer? No, she's not that witty.
No. I'm like, do you in the studio? I'm not.
Stupidest thing I've ever done.
I'm trying to think.
I've done quite a few stupid things.
Or when something's gone really wrong.
Yeah, my friend and I tried to break into a haunted mansion once in Cape Town, and it went very wrong.
Haunted mansion.
We got caught by security, and
God.
it was like 3 a.m, and we had.
You went straight to jail.
No, we got out of it, but it ended badly. I mean, the car broke down. My mate tripped and fell and cut himself.
God, that was bad.
And they're
but it
all
was a good
still
story.
friends. They're all
Yeah.
Okay.
still thick as
What else
thieves.
have we done that's stupid? I mean, there's too many. Yeah.
Yeah, Stellenbosch days are probably like my biggest blimps. Yeah.
Have you guys traveled a lot?
No. Oh, I
Overseas
think
or-
you've travelled a lot. Not together, we haven't travelled.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
She's travelled a lot.
Went to
Right.
Mauritius for a while.
Yes,
Yeah.
went to Mauritius for a while.
But we've been lucky enough to do Greece together.
Oh,
Come
nice.
into
Nice,
yeah.
My cousins
Really.
live that side, so it's like
Oh, cousins.
And we're
Yeah.
going on honeymoon soon.
Oh, really? Have you not been on honeymoon yet?
But I don't
No,
know,
no.
and I don't know where I'm going. So I'm packing a bag.
I just told her she won't need a visa.
That's
We'll
it.
take
Okay.
from there.
Oh, so it's a bit of a surprise.
It's a surprise.
Oh,
For
my
one of
soul.
us, yeah.
Okay, guys, guess where they're going?
Yeah, please tell
Paul,
me where I'm
Paul's
going.
not allowed to answer.
All right.
You know.
Michelle Browder, she's two amazing people. Thank you, Michelle. Nice to see you on board.
Hey, Michelle.
And Mike Palfreman there says it sounds like a must. For
Yes.
Palfremans, cricket players. Great. And Mike's was a fantastic runner. Still is actually. He runs like a bloody bullet, that guy. We had Steve Palfreman, his brother, who was Springbok Wiki. His Wiki.
Sure.
And a great sportsman. But guys, thank you so much. I don't know if there's anything else that you want to tell the guys out there if they want to come out to Nyosi. It's an amazing place. It's really not far at a time. I mean,
close.
20 minutes, 10 minutes.
It's like a half an hour
it
to
took
get,
us
yeah.
half an hour to get you.
Half an hour to get,
Yeah.
and they've got to get back again, so we
Yeah.
won't keep them too
Yeah.
long. We've got a competition. I see Philip Loescher there as well from America, from United States of America. Nice to see you, Philip. And Aneska there too. Aneska's she's also going with Ronnie and the guys from Line Out Productions. They do. They're doing our new venue, which is going to be launched very soon.
Oh,
God
excited
bless,
for
yes.
that.
And it's even closer to us, so it's going to get us even quicker to get to you.
Fantastic! We can't wait. But that'll be launching soon. And thank you, Mimi. Fabulous. She says it's going to be a good time to visit us. Mimi Rupp is with Stone, etc. They do all the smart stone and stuff.
Oh, amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
Sure.
All right, so we got the giveaway tool. We got Philippa on the tech tonight, so I'm hoping that she can see. You might have to refresh that filter, okay, and then share the screen there, and we'll see what share it first, and then you can just go for it. We didn't do a lucky draw for the person that's online now. You could
do
win.
it now.
You could win a case of Fitch and Leeds.
Awesome.
Thank you to our to Fitch and Leeds. And it looks like Mimi has won it. We're just talking about Mimi. Well done, Mimi. We're going to send that to you. We'll get you a case of Fitch Lead so you can enjoy your gin and tonic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Nice.
And
That's
thank you so
awesome.
much for joining us.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
thanks
having
for
us.
having
Oh,
It's been
us.
rad.
It's
it's been
conversation.
great. And I hope to come out and spend a little bit of a game drive and have a look and see what you guys have been doing there, because it sounds really cool.
Welcome anytime.
Lekker. And so Philippa, you can stick on the outro. There you go. Second one from the top. Off you go. Bang. Thank you.
Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. One drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.